Hi everybody. I just wanted to comment on this week's discussions. Overall, you guys did a really excellent job. But I wanted to create this video to talk a little bit about my discussion forum expectations, how I view the discussions and how I assess them. So some of you probably noticed that you didn't get full credit. I assess discussion forums the same way I assess everything. In order to get full credit, you have to fully, engage in the discussion and also answer all the questions in the discussion prompt. But also, you need to present yourself in a manner that is effective in the sense of grammar and structure and usage. One thing I'd just like to say to everyone is whenever I correct something or provide feedback, if I say something like, I'd like to see more development of this, or watch out for grammar here, it should have been that. I'm doing it in a spirit of care. And I'm not trying to point out the negative things that you're doing or the deficits. It's because I want you to improve those skills. With the overarching goal of learning, right? I want you all to learn a lot from the class and also develop the skills, because ultimately if you're not presenting yourself in emails or in written communication or orally with other people, if you're not presenting yourself in a manner that's grammatically correct or things like that, then it can lead to negative impacts. Now, I don't take off a ton of points for grammar and structure unless it's really significant. I care more about content. But anyway, I wanted to say you all did an excellent job here starting out. When you're approaching discussions, I'd also say really immerse yourself. Don't just do the minimum. Again, the ultimate goal of college is to learn. Don't focus on the grades either. Focus on the amount that you're learning and what you're doing in the discussion and the way that it influences you. A final note I'd like to make is when I'm presenting things in discussions that are often, that can be very provocative, you might assume that I'm trying to get you to believe something from a specific perspective. I am not trying to do that. Although I do have beliefs that I think are correct, there are also things that I believe that I don't have really solid reasons for. I'm not trying to get you to believe a specific position, for example, by showing you a PETA video about meat your meat. I'm not trying to get you to become a vegetarian, for example. Although probably I think we could all agree that becoming a vegetarian would not only be good for your own health and probably pocketbook, but it would also be good in the sense that you wouldn't be contributing to the suffering of other animals. I think we can all agree to that. Now, there are different reasons why people don't do that, and they range anywhere from the difficulty of, eating meat all the time and our tastes and things like that, all the way to other reasons that people have for eating meat and continuing. So, and I eat meat, by the way, and I believe that I probably shouldn't eat meat. I should be a vegetarian, and I should be more consistent in those beliefs, but it's very difficult for me, just like it is. Anyway, coming back, I just wanted to say to everyone, I'm not trying to get you to believe anything. What I'm trying to do by showing you multiple perspectives is engage in the critical thinking process itself, which is analyzing different types of information to know more about the world. So if it is the case, and it is, by the way, that most commercially produced meat that provides a majority of the meat that we eat in our society is produced through these methods, then it's important for us as consumers and as critical thinkers to understand this, to just know that it's true. We don't want to deny these things as if they don't exist. If you're presented with evidence and you're a critical thinker and it's good evidence, then your beliefs should align with the good evidence. Now, that evidence might be refuted by better evidence. And that's what happens over time. And so I didn't really get that sense too much from people, that hesitancy. I think everybody kind of agreed that, yeah, this is really bad and we shouldn't be contributing to it. And so most of the people didn't kind of turn a blind eye to the evidence, and I would just encourage you to do that throughout the rest of the course. I'm presenting these things because it shows alternative perspectives. We're fed a lot of perspectives based on society and based on the things that are most popular. And there are a lot of other perspectives that exist that actually are probably more representative of the truth, but we don't get to see them because they're sometimes very difficult to see. Nietzsche was a famous philosopher, and he says, sometimes the truth is repugnant, and that's in response to Plato's claims that truth is beautiful, and that when you come into knowledge of the truth, you get this overwhelming sense of wholeness and being and beauty. I think we can all agree there are many truths that are repugnant. And so what critical thinkers do is they try not to turn away from the truth, but to even look at the repugnant truths so that they can understand more about the world and also hopefully change the world in a positive way. So that's a little bit about discussions, my expectations. Keep doing good work. Really engage in the discussions. Provide a lot of detail, a lot of analysis. Keep the discussions going. Don't just do the minimum. And hopefully you'll see a lot of development in your own thinking. Remember, the point of college is not to do the minimum and jump through hoops. You're paying way too much money to do that. The point of college is to develop your mind, to develop your social skills, to increase relationships, important relationships. It's to learn. And if you're not learning, if you're just jumping through hoops, or if you're only learning for the moment and then just dumping it out of your head, I would encourage you to take a step back and reflect on what you're doing and think about the overall learning that should be happening, and then grasp that form of existence and do those things that bring about the learning in your own life, and focus on college as learning and not merely as grades. Keep up the good work, and hopefully I'll be able to create more of these throughout the course. Bye.